Hey, Randy Joe here, and welcome back to Soul September. Our previous video, we listened to Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life, a wonderful, incredible magnum opus from Mr. Wonder, and I thought we'd go from one legendary soul album to the next and listen today to Marvin Gaye's 1971 record, What's Going On? Now, unlike Songs in the Key of Life, this is much shorter. This is only 35 minutes with 9 tracks, and a few things about it. I know in 2020, Rolling Stones released their 500 Greatest Albums of All Time list like they do every few years or so, and hitting number 1 was, of course, Mr. Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. I think due to the political times we are living in, this album has continued to be more and more relevant as time goes on. Which is unfortunate because I know this is an album that is speaking more on the kind of political turmoil. And another thing about this album before we jump into it that I was actually unaware of was that this is a concept album. Had no idea before today. In fact, the narrative of the album is told from the point of view of a Vietnam vet returning to his home country to witness hatred, suffering, and injustice. I'm excited to check that out and to experience that concept over these 9 tracks because I really don't know what to expect from it. That being said, let's jump into it. 35 minutes, opening track, What's Going On, which I have heard this track, but of course, as you know on this channel, everything's a first reaction. After this track, it'll all be fresh to me because I don't know the rest. Our Vietnam vet coming home on this LP.
Mother, mother, there's too many of you crying.
Beautifully soulful voice.
Brother, brother, brother,
Nice restraint.
there's far too many here today. Oh, picket lines and picket signs.
A riot,
Don't punish
or a protest, I should say.
brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on.
Certainly very relevant in today's political climate. I feel like every day we see a different call to action, a different protest. The establishment, the older generations, again, still very current. So long hair may not be as common of a trope nowadays. Love those bongos too. That continue the background. Beautiful string work as well. Oh. And a lot of deviations in the instrumental. Different detours. And of course, you gotta understand, the main backing band on this album is the Funk Brothers, a classic Motown backing band. A great track to kick things off. This sense of confusion in this vet's perspective. Let's go into what's happening, brother. He's still confused, it would seem. Imagine if the whole track list is just variations of him asking, like, what is happening? Maybe our vet lost his vision. I love those backup vocals, so angelic. That shimmery jingle. Our vet sounding a little disappointed. Very quick You know, rapid tracks. They're pacing so brisk.
Tell me what's out. I wanna know what's in. What's the deal, man? What's happening, brother?
This one dealing more in the sense of the economic issues of the time. You know, the struggle really to make a dime, which is still very much a relevant issue.
What's happening, brother?
This one again, very brisk. I love the
What's been shaking up
really short delivery.
I'm slightly behind the time.
It's almost like these kind of glimpses that we're getting here. Let's go into Flying High, segueing quite nice into it. This is In the Friendly Sky. A sense of mystery kind of brewing here. Bit of a smoky atmosphere.
When I can't find it.
This one's got a very tense kind of delivery. I think those drums in the background kind of add like a skitteriness. Perhaps our vet here is succumbing to some sort of drug, flying high off the ground. Go to the place where good feeling awaits him. Self-destruction in his hand. Could be speaking on drugs on this track. That's what I'm gathering. Kind of have this like kind of floating atmosphere too, to pair with this drug. Really love the atmosphere of this one. So enveloping and kind of hypnotic. I feel like we're floating with this one, you know? I think our vet has succumbed to the need of drugs to sort of pacify his emotions. Save the Children is this one here. Let's segue right in. I love the kind of ease it takes into next tracks. The flow of the album. It's very free flowing. Wonder if that's Eddie Bongo Brown.
Who's willing to try?
Who is also on Songs in the Key of Life.
When I look at the world, it fills me with sorrow. It fills me with
I love the spoken word mixed with the backup vocals to kind of tail end every line here.
really gonna suffer tomorrow. Live.
Ooh,
Live.
our sax sliding in here. Kind of adding to the very easy breezy nature of this track. But again, very heavy kind of concept, you know? He's thinking about the people of tomorrow.
You will save the baby, all of the children.
Really like that kind of rapid drum, that rapid percussion. Ooh, sinking into a groove. Kind of echoing the sentiments of people throwing in the towel for planet Earth, and really just the people. I love the shimmering kind of xylophone on the right, mixed with the continuous bongos on the left. A nice contrast. Ooh. Flowing right into God is Love. Wow, I love this album's really loose structure. Shouting out God once more, a common soul trope. God is within. Oh yeah, he works for you. She is. The feeling of love. All from family to God to friends. I love those distant horns too. Such a brisk track. Again, only 1 minute and 40. Right into Mercy, Mercy Me. The Ecology. 3 minutes. Man, these tracks, again, I love how short and compact they are. They don't waste any time. You know, no long build-ups, no extended instrumentation. Very different from our last video, that's for sure. So our vet has been filled with sadness at what he's seen around him. And it seems like he's trying to say we may not be able to save ourselves, but we can save the children, and we can love one another. Using the power of love, a common trope in soul and rock music, really, seems to be the main message here. From our vet. Man. Leading into an instrumental here. I love how buried in the mix this saxophone is too. You know, it's not overdoing it. Got that warm, brassy soul tone. And these backup vocals. Maybe some sort of choir? Very orchestral, you know? And I think that goes to the credits of Detroit Symphony Orchestra. Very heavy string sections throughout. I like that one. Again, super well paced. Let's go into Right On. 7.5 minutes. This is the monster of the album, it would seem. Maybe the climax. Ooh. That kind of funky groove we're getting into now. A little bit more of an upbeat nature. Some of us born rich. Not me, though. Speaking of privilege, again, very ahead of its time. Like in the last decade, we've heard about privilege a lot more. I love the grooviness of this one, the funkiness, the more upbeat. Wonder if this track's gonna slowly develop and build into something very larger than itself in the back end. It says Right On. Ooh. Our flutist. Dana Hardwick, William Parrish on the flutes. And you know me, I love a good flute. Add to that very airy soul atmosphere. Oh. Kind of just dancing on this groove at this point. Very loose, almost improvisational kind of tone to it. Reminded me of Mr. Isaac Hayes, who maybe we'll cover this month. I don't know what that effect is. I like that descending note there. Not sure what that instrument is. Love for your God, love for your brothers, your sisters, your wives and your mothers, and your fathers even. Very preachy, almost pastor-esque, but I dig it. I mean, it gets about as soul as you can get. Oh, jumping right into it. Coming on full display for this final 30 seconds. Will it flow into the next track? Very extended, kind of jammy, improvisational tone to that track. I loved it. Kind of just rode a wave. Let's go into Holy, Holy. Oh, our sax. So smooth, so atmospheric. Getting very religious here. That we do. Holy Bible. The good book, as they say. I really love the laid back, slow nature of this track. This whole album, I feel like we've been floating on a cloud. Love this track. It's super stripped back and just very airy, very direct with its themes of religion and love, and kind of saving ourselves through it. Let's go into Inner City Blues. Make Me Wanna Holler, which is the closer already. We're already at the closing track here. Man, what a brisk LP. Perhaps an instrumental only. There's no lyrics here. I think our vet comes to the conclusion at the end of this LP, in that sense, that we need God, we need love, we need religion to save ourselves. Perhaps a bit naive, but what are you gonna do? That's soul. There is lyrics. They won't show. Ooh. Sending them off to war, perhaps? Because you can't handle the economic situation there. Seems to be a call to sort of fight back against the establishment who are controlling the inner city lives. Love this building nature as well. The tension of the times can be heard of the track too. I feel like the atmosphere replicates the economic tension. Can anyone at this point? I feel like this track only continues to get more relevant. Really for all people in this day and age. Really great relevant track. Can't like it twice. Ooh. That holler. Oh. Our piano is making the shift, making a change. Bookending the album here.
Everybody thinks we're wrong. Mother, who are they to judge us? Mother, simply cause we wear our hair long.
Still true, still relevant. People still poke fun at a person's appearance, despite them spitting some hard truths. I feel like this only continues to extend it today in many ways. The younger generation's always getting picked apart. Seems to be the main idea here. Even though they're the future. Simply like the Save the Children line, kind of bring it all back around. That closes out the album. It's so swift. 35 minutes and we're already done. I loved just the briskness of the album. The pacing was fantastic. Feels like it is pretty compact with its themes of, you know, political commentary of the times, speaking on race issues and drug issues as well. So specifically on the track Flying High, which I thought was also really fantastic and airy. Speaking on religion, speaking on war, speaking on poverty. Lots of themes all tied together that are all collectively similar, all packed into 35 minutes. And on top of that, this album feels very airy, feels very light, feels very breezy. So it doesn't feel like it's throwing all this stuff at you with such a strong, unrelenting force. Even though it's such heavy topics, the music itself doesn't feel overwhelmingly heavy. This is a fantastic album, though. There's not too much to say about it. I mean, do I think it is the single greatest album of all time, like Rolling Stones seems to suggest back in 2020? No, but this is my first listen. But even with repeated listenings, I can't see this beating a lot of, other pretty grand, epic albums, I feel like. Even in the soul genre, I mean, Songs in the Key of Life, come on. We just listened to that, and I've been listening to it many times since. That is a mammoth of a record that I feel like at least just does so much. But we're not trying to do comparisons here. We are talking specifically about the album as itself, and I gotta say, Marvin Gaye's What's Going On is certainly a must-listen-to soul album, simply because I feel like it gets the themes and messages and tropes of soul across in such a condensed time, while at the same time being very relevant and current, and continually ages like a fine wine, which is unfortunate considering the politics of the time were negative. The politics of the time today are typically, by a lot of people's standards, pretty negative, but that's just society. Not too much to say about it. It's just beautiful, soulful singing, beautiful, soulful backup vocals. The Funk Brothers too, as well as the backing band, does a great job at giving that Motown sound, which is very brassy, very lo-fi almost, and again very light. But that does it for today's video. If you have a soul album you want to recommend, go ahead and recommend it down below. We'll see if we could check it out. I have a few that I want to check out still of myself. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what's next. We'll have fun here. We'll enjoy some good old soul music. But as always, my name is Randy Joe. I appreciate you watching, and I'm signing off.